Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here tonight to Special Treat. It's the mid-season showdown brought to you by Black Hawk Motorsports. $50 on the line to tonight's race winner. Whoever can escape and leave out of Martinsville after 200 laps as the race winner, they're going to walk away with valuable points and valuable cold hard cash, $50. Folks, we're going to throw it down trackside to Joshua Rutherford for tonight's rendition of the national anthem, and we'll be back on the flip side. Stick around, we'll be back momentarily.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Martinsville. Thank you, Joshua Rutherford from Mullet Music Productions for that. As folks trying to figure out why I do not have any sound on iracing. We had sounds a second ago. Bear with me here. I do apologize. As there we go. That's not the better one. I don't know why X Audio 2 decided to quit working, but no harm, no foul, folks. We're going into tonight 200 laps, and as always, we are stage racing. Stage 1 is going to end at lap 50. Stage number 2 is going to come in at lap 100. And for those that can do math, that means 100 laps in that final stage to duke it out for not only the points, but like I mentioned earlier, the $50. Brought to you by Black Hawk Motorsports. Thank them for coming on board, sponsoring not only the race, but the season as well. Them in Ohio and Indiana Roofing. Want to thank both of them fine companies for coming on board, helping us have a little fun here on a Sunday night. As we're just a mere minutes away now from heading on into qualifying. As Austin Edstrom, number 87, coming off 2 big wins 2 weeks ago, picked up the race win at the Roval. And also the race before that, I don't even remember what it was now, off the top of my head. But picked up both race wins, so Edstrom's coming in with all the momentum. That is for sure. Before qualifying actually gets going, let's pull up some storylines to kind of watch here tonight. As we mentioned there, the first one, Austin Edstrom picked up 2 race wins during the doubleheader. Can he continue that momentum? And then storyline number 2, Mark Arthur in the number 12 car. He comes into tonight's race as the points leader. Can the number 12 Ford Mustang, it's the Barbie Mobile, can it leave Martinsville and still have that points lead? And then point number 3, with only 3 winners on the season, is tonight the night for a short track racer to come in and maybe knock off the Mark Arthurs, Chris Carrolls, and Edstroms and become a new first-time winner. And then, of course, the final point, the big one. 200 laps around this famed paperclip with $50 on the line and points. Will tempers remain calm? Or are we going to see some fireworks? Folks, we're heading on into qualifying already. Thomas Friedis, number 23 machine. Billy Bo Tom puts down his lap times of a 19.30. As walks the dog sideways, gets loose there. So that second lap's going to be null and void for the 23 machine. See if we can catch somebody coming out right now. Carl Lindstrom, number 83, the VRS machine, coming out on track. That front row racing, front row esports, number 83, piloted by Carl Lindstrom. Familiar face around the Crooked Line Racing front row esports leagues, but now venturing into the Blazing Pedals League. Going to see what he can do in the number 83 machine here, as this is going to be his first time lap of the night. Remember, folks, they get 2 laps at qualifying. So lap number 1 for Lindstrom, number 83, is going to be null and void. Excuse me, a 19.57. It took a little bit for scoring and timing to register that time, as Chris Paul Hamus just jumped up to P4 on the speed chart. So right now, Ryan Rose, number 58, he's holding down provisional pole with a lot of heavy hitters left to go. Lindstrom's second lap here looked pretty good. Did the 83 get quicker? He did, but just by a little, with a 19.47. Still waiting for some drivers to elect to head out to qualify. Got some heavy hitters such as Alex C. Harris, Mark Arthur, Mike Massengill, Chris Carroll, Dustin Ping, Austin Edstrom. So a lot of heavy hitters still left to roll out. As it looks like the 87 of Edstrom's going to try his hand. He's pulling out on track. And now, folks, for this one, I'm going to throw it in the cockpit. I'm going to be quiet, and we'll let y'all have a ride around Martinsville here. Riding on board with 87, Austin Edstrom, as he tries to qualify. And he's going to pull it down for me. So let's see if maybe get a redo. Just didn't like that exit or something for him. All right, that's the beauty of a sim. You get to restart, reboot, and retry. Let's see what Edstrom can do now this time around. Oh, whoa, and you see what can happen. They can get away from you really quick, so Edstrom. Looks like he got loose on the second lap and then kind of just played with it then after that. So not a good look on the broadcast, but no harm, no foul. Edstrom top of the board with a 19 flat. Still, though, there's still a few heavy hitters out there left to go. And also, drivers, if you are in here, we need you inside the Blazing Pedals Discord during tonight's event. As it looks like Gilrow made it. Number 41. Did not think he was going to make it tonight. But he lucked out. That Daddy-O's MFRD Camaro, number 41. He's going to be a heavy hitter, but he has not turned any laps of practice tonight. The qualifying is his practice time. As we come over here to check out the chat. As of course, Miss Connie and Lori both in the chat. They both say hi, Tanner. Well, hi to you, girlies. Glad to have y'all out here. As Lori says, go Mark, this is your track. And we have Steven Johnson with a good look in the chat. And then the coffee man, Derek Paulson, number 6. He was trying to keep it together for a lap. Think the 12 will sit on pole now. So we got the coffee man sighting in the chat. Mr. Derek Paulson excited for the new series to start back. Get back out there with all the MFRD guys. Except this time, I guess I'll be spectating this season. No harm, no foul in that, but it's still excited nonetheless. Point still remains true. As Kiro taking these extra qualifying laps and using it as practice. Veteran move, heads up move by Dalton. These laps are not going to count for him, of course, but the first 2 laps did count, and that was just enough to slot MP8 on the board. So still waiting for somebody else to come out and elect the qualified. Dustin Pink's number 81 machine is out on track now. A Dodge. I like that. Got a Dodge clip on the front of it. Real good, sleek looking 81. Let's see what Dustin can do here. It's pretty straightforward in regards to how to drive Martinsville. There's not a whole lot of different ways you can attack a track like this. But it's really, really difficult to be fast over the course of a long run. With it being a flatter track, you're naturally getting in a little harder. The banking's not slowing you down at all. I mean, you're hard on the brakes, really cranking that wheel, get that car to turn, because it's basically hairpin corners on both sides of the track. So although it is a fairly straightforward track, it's still a difficult track. Oh, we missed it, but Mark Arthur just jumped up top with a 19.88. This is a second lap coming out turn number 4 here. Can the 12 car get any faster? He cannot. As a big bobble out of the 12 there. Coming out of turn number 4. So new provisional pole up top. I'm still waiting for the Alex C. Harris to Chris Carroll's to go out and qualify. As the 99 machine looks to be rolling now. Trying to get some heat in those tires right there. As another familiar face here on a Sunday night, has been away for a little bit, but glad to have him back. He is always somebody you can shoe in. If he's not the favorite, he's one of the favorites, week in and week out. Got some stout competition out here tonight. Not a big field by no means, about 15 cars, but the competition is out here. 99, first lap's going to be junk. Got loose going in 3, ended up staying up high, trying to get all the momentum he can for second lap. So now he's do or die with the second lap. First lap, it's junk. P12 for him. What can he do now, though? He basically pushed all the chips to the center. He went all in for lap number 2. He looked flawless in 1 and 2. 99's going to walk it right out to the outside wall. Gets a little loose. Maybe left a little time there. As Chris Carroll's going to jump up to P3 on the board. Slide it in right there behind Edstrom and Mark Arthur. And Larry Bell, first lap around the surface, got him up to P10. Will the second lap be quicker for the 43 machine? It will indeed. Top 5 starting position there for the 43. Larry Bell jumps up to 5th on the timing and scoring with a 19.13. So it looks like Mark will more than likely be the pole sitter. Let's go ahead and get him down here. There we go. Mr. Mark Arthur, you're live in the booth. Got a copy? One moment, folks. As my PC did a sound update, or a Windows update, excuse me. It's kind of got all my sounds messed up. I think now we should have Mr. Mark Arthur live in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you now.
Yes, I don't know what was going on, but I think we got it sorted out. Provisional poll 18.88. What's the strategy and what's the thoughts going into tonight? $50, 200 laps in Martinsville.
It's Martinsville, man. Strategy to keep defenders on it. Chris Carroll's going to be fast. Austin Edstrom's going to be fast. So it's going to, I don't know, man. We'll see.
Are you expecting any carnage tonight, or are you,
we shouldn't, right? It's only 16 cars out here. It shouldn't be much carnage.
All right, brother. Well, we've already hit the grid, so thank you for coming and talking to me. Congratulations, starting P1 here tonight, buddy.
All right, thanks, Tanner.
Everybody. I had to actually cut it a little short because they are hitting grid now. So that means only one thing. 16 cars out here tonight. Let's get that grid rocking and rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Arthur, quick little chat with him with an 18.881. He's going to be starting provisional pole. Starting to his outside is going to be Austin Edstrom, and then Chris Carroll representing Pit Lizard Performance. He's going to be firing off inside row number 2 with Dustin Ping, Blackhawk Motorsports own, starting P4. Larry Bell, number 43, Obelski, starting 5th. Ryan J. Rose, newcomer to the series, starting 6th. Chris Paul Hamus, he's been bad fast all season long. but has had terrible luck. Can he revert that with the number 3 here tonight? He's going to be firing off in 7th. 8th is Alex C. Harris. Tulip Botan's going to start in 9th. Jay Powell's in 10th. The Soul Stealer firing off in 11th. Carl Lindstrom's in 12th. 13th, we got Dalton Kilrow, who did not get to practice much, so he practiced during qualifying, firing 13th. 14th is Jason Bauer. 15th, Mike Massengill. And 16th is the number 33, Michael Reeves. Folks, I am excited. I hope you are as well. As Pace Car is going to make it one more time around this track, and then it's going to be green flag racing. As you see, the sun's going down. That means this track's going to get faster and faster the cooler it gets. Now, with the temperatures cooling off, the track cooling off, does that mean the drivers are going to cool off? Probably not. It's short track racing, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite type of racing right here. It's where I feel most comfortable. I wish I was out there on the track, but I'm happy to be calling it as well. Let's get it going. Let me know in the chat who we got for tonight. Who's your pick? Lock it in before they ever turn their first lap. It's almost go time for the Blackhawk Motorsports 200 here at Martinsville. Pace car there. As green flag is out for the first time tonight. And that inside lane is where you want to be at. Mark Arthur got a great launch. He fired off, no problem at all, not having to battle with anybody. But Chris Carroll cannot say the same. Edstrom started on the outside lane. He's trying to find his way to get down in front of the 99. These two have not raced a lot together. Edstrom showed up whenever Chris Carroll took a break. Now Carroll's back. Edstrom's here. You're going to see two bulls lock horns here. As 87 wins the first battle. It looks like the top 7, 8 have all single filed out. Looks like the entire field actually is single filed out. Dalton Kilrow, Brian Dees. These are two drivers I want to watch. It's the 41 and the 17. As neither driver had great qualifying efforts compared to their normal pace week in and week out. So they started behind the 8 ball. They're going to work together with their teammates. So they'll probably work together just fine to get up through the field. Okay, back up front, Mark Arthur. He had almost a 10th second lead over everybody in practice in regards to the fastest time out there. So he proved to have great speed firing off. He backed it up with a hell of a qualifying effort. Now you got to put it together for 200 laps. Do you push early? Do you try to save a little bit of tire early? Remember, we're stage racing tonight. Stage 1 is going to end at lap 50. So you're basically racing to lap 50 right now. Stage points are very important. Mark Arthur, Austin Edstrom, they are 1-2 currently in the point standings, if I recall. And they're actually 1-2 how they run right now. Mark is the points leader. Edstrom come into tonight second in the points. And I'm actually trying to get it pulled up on my end, what the points picture actually looks like going into Martinsville. Mark has a 25-point lead over Edstrom. So you can get 20 points in stages tonight. That would be a huge plus for Austin, but he needs Mark to have a little bit of bad luck here along the way. Right now, Mark's been the man out front. Already 7 laps in. You blink, you might miss it. Got a battle going on back here. Oh, the 3 tries to come down, gets in front of the 23, into the back of the 18. No caution out. Track stays green. It's my goodness, no caution there. Oh boy. And I just had to make sure cautions are turned on. They are indeed turned on. That was a wild one, folks. Now, Jason Powell and boys, they just got to make sure not to fall a lap down to Mark. Mark's at the start-finish line now. Where's Jason at? Jason's about half a lap in front of Mark, so no, the 18's not going to be happy right there with all that transpired, but luckily for him, he mitigated damage to see Dalton Kilrow applying a little bit of pressure to Carl Lindstrom. Carl's going to give him the low line here. It's still early. As, man, oh man, they get tight. Dalton had to use as much of the track as he could. Trying to get that power down. 900 horsepower here tonight. These are not your typical cars we're racing. These are race cars right here. They got big boy motors in them, so really easy to put too much power down, slide the tires, lose a little grip, get loose. But 83, he hung on nice on the outside, but now Dalton, eyes forward. Alex E. Harris looks to be a contender as the lights come on here at Martinsville shortly. As he is a short track ringer. He loves his short tracks, knows his way around them really good. Look for him to be a contender here when the laps start to wind down. Currently slotted in 6th place after starting in 8th. For your top 4, they're running how they started, and Mark has opened it up to a sizable gap lead over Austin Edstrom. As it looks like pace is starting to really determine now everything, because Mark, he's almost half a tenth quicker each lap over Edstrom. But now it's still early. A lot of laps remain in the race and in the stage. Let's jump on board with Austin. We rode with him in qualifying. Let's jump on board with him here for the race. See how he's attacking the corner drive. He's in there fairly deep. And that time just looked really smooth. So he's having to drive it, get a little loose on the exit, get into the wall a little bit, just a little tank slaps, nothing big. But he's definitely having to drive it. Now let's jump on board with the race leader. As lap traffic is starting to show up out the windshield of Mark Arthur. Both are 1-2. They look really smooth. Now, what about Chris Carroll back here running in 3rd? Now, he's normally pretty aggressive with the wheel in regards to movement back and forth. So let's see what he looks like tonight. He's fairly smooth as well. So top 3 are running strong. He's looking lap down car. It's going to go down to the inside wall. Makes contact with the inside wall as well. And that's going to be a yellow. There must be a big one somewhere on the track. Let's see. It's telling me. It's telling me Michael Reeves, but I just don't think so. Unless him stopping there was the cause of the caution. All right there in front of the leaders. Hits the wall and then stops and brings out a caution, I guess. As, whoa, pit strategy call here. Mark's going to bring him down pit side. 87 stays out. Dustin Ping stays out. So guys are electing to pit. Some guys are electing to stay out. I'm not expecting this. So Mark Arthur, Chris Carroll, Alex C. Harris, Larry Bell, and Jason Powell elect to bring it down pit side here. I mean, this has to just be a fuel call. They could go about 62 laps on a tank. So they could make the stage regardless. I'm not 100% sure, as Mark's actually going to lose a spot getting off pit road too. He had to wait for the pit lane to open up. But yeah, not at all sure why Mark elected to pit, but brought a few down with him. As Mike Maxson gives electing to go down pit side now. I mean, just a fuel stop, and they can make the stage. So now it's going to put Mark, Chris Carroll, and all them boys in the hornet's nest, right? Definitely not where you want to be at here at Martinsville. It's going to let Austin Edstrom be the man front and center out front. As a very familiar face out front after the doubleheader night, winning both races. And I remember it was Homestead and the Charlotte Roval. That's where the 87 won at 2 weeks ago. Last time we was out on track here in the BPL Winter Series. Guys, I apologize. I had the wrong ticker up a while ago. Just now realized that. We're great at our job here. We check back with the track, or the chat. Hello, Mark. Mark, of course. My boy Mark. Who else? Yeah, caution should have been thrown. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. Hey, we got Shermanator in the chat. Nice, got a few familiar faces in the chat as the regular season's right there getting close. These guys are getting back in the routine of hanging out here on Sunday night with us. All right, Edstrom, ping. That's your first row. Builds in the hands of the 87 as well. As he fires off, a little bit of wheel spin between himself and Dustin Ping as well. Oh, they're wrecking in the back. Mark Arthur was involved. I saw that as he went by. Still no caution on the speedway. As Mark, significant right front damage to the number 12 machine. That was a lick and a half right there. Have to go back and see what happened. No caution, though. They stay green on the track. That's out with Jason Bauer, it says, but I'm almost positive it even starts in front of that, in front of him. Ooh, gets loose and right there flips Mark, and normally that's not a bad lick at all, but oh my goodness, we come back and they are still wrecking. Tron's around, Mark's in the back of 74. The Hornet's Nest, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I was just talking about. And oh yeah, no yellow flag once again. They stay green. As my oh my, I was trying to get to the damage on Mark's car, but he just said we'll keep on adding it. Left front looks a little worse for wear. As that's going to be hampering him right there. And typically damage at Martinsville's not going to bother you too much. That's wheel damage right there. That's pretty significant damage on the front end of that 12. Comes back to that pit call. I did not like the pit call. I know it's hindsight. We're going to have to battle back now for the 12. And quite frankly, the 99, he was involved in a little bit of skirmish as well. Chris Carroll. The man loving all this, though, the man front and center, Austin Edstrom. Ryan J. Rose, though, up to second position. Got a hard charge in Dustin Ping right there on the back bumper of the 58. It's like Ping's showing low. He's looking low. Thought Rose was going to give it to him that time by. Ping did not get there, though. This is going to be the battle to keep tabs on, I do believe. Looks like Ping is a little bit quicker than the 58, but the 58's pulling him on exit, so Ping's driving it off in there a little bit deeper. That's allowing the 58 just to kind of stretch the lead out ever so slightly every exit. And folks, it's been eventful here, honestly. I mean, we've seen crashes already with no yellows. We've seen track blockers. And I mean, I went and looked to make sure yellows were turned on, and they are actually turned on. I thought maybe I made a mistake, right? Nope, they're on. So as Stephen T. Johnson in the chat says, Barney Fife Jr., the flagman, he's sleeping up there. Tell you one guy that's not sleeping is Carl Lindstrom, because he has a hungry giant right on the back bumper of the 83, and knows it's time to get a move on. This is the battle for P7 here. Chris is in 8th. Mark Arthur right there in 9th. Mark went in as the race leader. Came off of pit road throughout the restart, got into some trouble, and that's where you're seeing the damage on the number 12 as 99 to the inside, power move. Now with a 12 try to fill the gap, or will the 83 get down in time? 83 could have used that time right there to get down. Instead, he raced the 99, and the 12, oh, he almost got there. I believe the 83 is going to be just fine. As we head back up front, Mama, here's that bad man. Let's go rear chase real quick, because there's not even a car in his picture right now. You got to look deep. You got to almost squint to see the second place driver, Ryan J. Rose. So Edstrom's checking out. A little bit over 15 laps remaining until the end of stage number 1. Anything can happen when we're racing, that is for sure. Right now, Edstrom looks to be the man to beat. And then we got Ryan J. Rose up 4 spots, qualified in the 6th place position. And we saw this earlier. Ping is really attacking them corners, driving it in there deep. Ryan's kind of backed it up a little bit, entering a little bit softer, a little easier. Ping is just, he gets right there to the back bumper of the 58 almost every entry. As our race leader Edstrom got by some lap traffic of Jason Bauer. Bauer unfortunately spun the tires, and the rest was history for a lot of guys out there. As Alex E. Harris and Carl Lindstrom doing battle. Lindstrom in the preferred lane, but looks like Alex E. Harris is going to make the pass there. He does indeed get by Carl Lindstrom. So Alex E. Harris, a man possessed here. Austin, no, just stretching it out lap after lap after lap. He is trying to go for the three-peat here tonight. This is the ultimate night for him to try to gain back, claw back at some points. Coming into tonight, second in the standings, 25 points off of Mark Arthur. Mark's already lost points due to contact. And now it looks like Mark, right now, he's slotted ace, so he may not get very many stage points here. This is a picture-perfect start for the 87. Is exactly what he needed. As Ryan J. Rhodes is feeling the pressure, 81 to the inside. Ryan's not going to give it up. Ryan races really, really hard. Really hard, lap after lap after lap. I've done many laps with him. I've had many tussles with him. Let's be honest. He's going to race you hard. So 81 better pack a lunch here. He was looking to the inside of 58. 58 didn't give it up. Oh, 81 missed the corner a little bit. Had to lock up the right front. That allowed Dees, the Soul Stealer, to get right there. And where the hell did Dees come from? Earlier we were saying he was 12th, 13th with his teammate Dalton. Well, now him and Dalton are up to 4th and 6th respectfully. So they are definitely moving. They're coming. Now 81 of Payne's just going to regroup, refocus. Little mistake there. Had to lock up the tires to stay off of the 58. And now I'll be honest, as a driver, as Dalton making a pass over Bullet both time, as a fellow driver, it's annoying, especially at a track like Martinsville, when you know you're faster than the guy in front of you. And then on top of all that, the leader, he's checking out on y'all. As Payne really working and getting real loose right there in front of Dees. Dees shoots slow. Just trying to avoid all the mayhem and all the carnage. They keep all cars pointed straight with that 81. Them rear tires are hot. They are angry right now. Now the 41, what's he going to do here? He sees 81. He's struggling. He knows the 81 is struggling right now. Struggling for grip. Trying to find anything he can. As now, look at there. 17 and 41 both get loose. So tire wear is starting to become a factor. Chris Carroll to the outside here at Martinsville. You can't do that, but he's going to try. To the outside of the 41. These are stage points on the line here, every position. As Carroll, man, a power move to the outside 99. Oh, a little bit of door bang between him and the 41. Now, they're very familiar. They've turned a lot of laps together. Dalton almost has a pick set on him by the 81, but 81 gets gone, comes up from the 99. But right there, Chris Carroll, crossover move now to the inside of the 81. As Carroll is definitely a man possessed as well. He is coming. As lap number 48 of 200. Remember, lap 51, that stage is going to fall. So you got to get everything you can right now. That's Dustin Ping, man. He is in a hard-fought battle here with Chris Carroll. Chris Carroll already up to 4th. And Toilet Bowl Tom getting wicked loose right there in front of Mark. Mark, car's been beaten, battered. He don't want to see anybody get loose. He don't want to see no type of adversity anymore. He's seen enough of it already. Looking to the inside of the 32. I'm glad to see that the 12 car can maintain pace like this, because I feel like the steering wheel's got to be off with it being that crinkled up in the left front. Oh, man, them boys, they're racing like it's football here. Look at the 12. Drives in there deep. 81's going to chop the nose of the 12. Thought there was going to be some carnage there. Now, Mark, he's kind of a hothead like me. He gets displeased fairly easy in a race car. So, what happened there? Will it transpire over into later? As caution is out, that is going to be a wrap on stage number 1. And he did it again, ladies and gentlemen. He won 4 stages 2 weeks ago. And he backs that up by coming out here and winning the 5th stage in a row for the 87. These drivers got the hammer sitting up in race control booth. They better stay to the right of pit road. Very easy to cheat this pit road. As it looks like Kilroe is going to elect to stay out in the number 41. As we may have a chat with Kilroe to see what he's thinking here with the pit call. Dalton, Kilroe, you're live in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So I noticed that you elected to stay out on track here where everybody else is basically pitting. What's the thoughts?
Just get that point for leading a lap and kind of see what happens. Maybe catch caution, like, 5-10 laps. Obviously I don't have the speed here, and I didn't really turn much in terms of practice, so just kind of trying to figure it out a little bit, but maybe see if I can't strategize some shit here. Oh,
good job, Dalton. Way to go. We paused that, folks. It don't matter. Well, Dalton,
sorry.
Are you expecting tire fall off to be big here? You think you can manage it up here now that you're up with the track?
I'm gonna fall like a rock.
Right. Well, at least you're honest. Like, at least you know that, right? So going into it, be all right. Well,
yeah.
Good luck, Dalton. It caught me off guard. I can't lie when you stayed out. So interested to see how it shakes out, brother.
Yep. Thank you.
As Captain saves some fuel. Dalton Kilroe, get him back down there. He was not your stage 1 winner. Get that off. That was Austin Edstrom. He was a stage 1 winner. And now Edstrom is going to come out of pit road sitting 3rd. So actually, Chris Carroll, another strategy call. 2 tires for Chris Carroll. Whereas Edstrom took 4. And Mark still on pit road, going back down pit road. As he typically has the broadcast up when he's racing. So he may have heard that his damage is pretty bad on that left front. So going to come down pit road here. Let the crew work on it as much as they can. But unfortunately for him, it's Martinsville. And they're not going to give him much time to work on it at all doing that. Overshooting the pit box. But he's just going to let his crew go out there and get as much of the damage fixed as they can. As I wish there was a way he could tell me how much he had just so we knew. For the fans at home. As look at there though, they just put that front clip back on. Mark Arthur has a brand new looking race car almost. It's a little crinkled, but man, oh man, it looks a lot better now. So if I am in his ear right now, I know he's smiling from ear to ear hearing that. He's cheesing, holding that steering wheel. All right, lights are off on the pace car. Going down pit road. Field's in the hands of the number 41. MFRD, Daddy-O's machine. These two on the front row, they're very familiar with each other. They have done many laps side by side, and they're going to do one more here in Martinsville. Dalton fires them off. Chris Carroll gets a great launch, though. Drives to the outside of the 41. Now, remember, Chris Carroll's on 2 tires. Edstrom, he's on 4. Kilroe's on none. Edstrom's going to look to make it 3 wide here for the race lead. He thinks better of it. He backs out of it. Heads up move by the 87 because I don't think that was going to work there. But how long can he afford to be patient? Because Chris Carroll now is going to be the race leader out front. Gets the lead on the outside. Edstrom's going to try to do the same, follow suit. As Harris is doing the same. Kilroe's playing it smart. He's not giving on the bottom. Guess what? Newsflash, he don't have to. He does not have to give them guys the bottom. He said, if you're going to pass me, go to the high side to pass me. But now Dalton's got to be careful and not get himself involved in a wreck. We have a battle for the race lead here. Edstrom to the inside of Carroll. Carroll just going to get down right behind the 87. He does. And look, we have a car slow off the pace there. It was Ryan J. Rosemary caught a black flag for something. Oh, well, head back up front. Edstrom, the face out front. It's been that way since Mark elected to pit. And now, speaking of Mark, he's in a hornet's nest, and he goes around. I saw there was a lot of cars right there on top of each other. So trouble here for the points leader, Mark Arthur. Goes around along with the 83. As I saw all this happening kind of far off, so I knew the hornet's nest was happening. Right there in the middle, but don't know what happened exactly. Let's go back and watch it from Mark's POV. Oh, looks like Mark slides up a little bit. Maybe thought he was a little bit more clear of the 83 than what he was. But also the 83's trying to basically time it and get right in behind Mark. Not trying to touch him here at all. Just trying to slide in and ultimately just misjudges it. And 83 just kind of turns in on him. And these cars are so on edge. That's all it took. And right here, that's never a good thing to be facing backwards at Martinsville. But no more damage for the 12. Hey, Miss Connie, Miss Lori, what's going on? I mean, the 12 car, paint a target on it. As the left front was fixed earlier. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's back out again. Not nearly like it was earlier. As, never mind, they just popped it back out again. Oh, it looks actually pristine now, completely new. See if we can dial up Mark. He's been a topic for a little bit. Been involved in a few situations, to say the least. Mark Arthur, you're back in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Tanner.
So next week, do you just want a target on your car, or how you feeling?
Hey, maybe I'll drive the target car next week. How about that?
Right. It looks to be like the car's fixed up. What's it feeling like handling-wise with all the damage it's had?
I can't really tell. Hold on. Oh, it's all good, man. It's Martinsville. I don't know. It felt a little tight there after that first because it hit me right in the left front. So
It was ugly.
yeah, I don't know. It was right on the tire where he made contact when he spun on the start, but I don't know what it feels like. So it could be dirty air, could be the damage. So it's all fixed now. So we'll see what it does.
Right on, brother. I wanted to basically know how much damage you had, because it was awesome watching it get fixed over time. It looks good now. Well, good luck, brother. And hey, try to quit hitting stuff, man. At some point, you got to stop
All right,
hitting
thanks,
people.
Tanner.
Oh, Mark's not had the good luck very much tonight, but still laughing, cutting up about it. So that's why. Being a good sport about it. But now this is really hurting the points for him. It really is hurting the points because he's taking penalty points every time he gets hit, basically. Alrighty, folks. Headset users, please beware. We're about to throw it to a crank it up when they go back green. So it's getting ready to get loud in here, so please beware. Alrighty, folks, and we are back here. Austin Edstrom still the man front and center after the crank it up. Chris Carroll sitting P2. Alex C. Harris sitting third. Brian, the So Stealer D, sitting fourth. Jason Powell's in fifth. Mark Arthur's in sixth. Dalton Kilrose worked himself back to seventh after starting in the lead position after not taking tires. So still holding on strong for 41. Fall back to seventh. Philip Tom's in eighth. Ryan J. Rose in ninth. Larry Bell's 10th. Carl Lindstrom, a little bit off night for Lindstrom. He's sitting 11th. Dustin Pink's 12th. Mike Maxson goes 13th. Chris Paul Hammers is 14th. And Jason Bauer is in the 15th place. So that is through the field here. That's Edstrom's putting those 4 fresh tires to good use here. He's really making them work. Opening it up to almost a 2-second gap over Chris Carroll. Now remember, Chris Carroll elected to only take 2 tires when he went down pit road. But still, 2 tires or not, he's still pulling away from the field. Really good. Alexi Harris, another guy, only took 2 tires. But look at the drivers he has closing in on him now. All these guys are on 4 tires. Ooh, Mark's applying the pressure to the 18. As 18 gets loose there, Mark's going to drop down underneath. It's full contact racing. Mark drives off in there deep. He washes up a little bit, almost hits the 18. No harm, no foul. 12 car gets the position. Now the 17's trying to do the same as well. Mark drove it off a cliff to get there and stay there. Now the 18's being a little defensive. He blocked the drive a little bit right there, but by the 17. Which, like I said, we're not on the interstate. We're racing. It's going to happen. So I was hearing some carnage, I thought. Shout out to Alex E. Harris. Up 5 spots since he hit the starting grid. Started P8 out here. Up to 3rd. Sitting firm on the podium, but now Mark is right there closing in. Mark actually had to get on the brakes a little bit more than what he was figuring to have to stay off of Alex right there. Dalton Kilroe's trying to make a pass over teammate Brian D. So Kilroe as it's actually telling me, I may have missed it when Kilroe pitted. But Kilroe is the man moving forward now. I apologize during the interview. We missed that Dalton did take tires eventually. So that's why we're seeing the 41 hard charging back to the front. Oh my goodness, a huge one. I was taking a drink of my Monster Energy there. A parking lot on the front stretch. We saw cars going every which way but the correct way. Jason Powell and Toilet Bow Tom looks to have the worst of it. Ooh, 17 gets into the side. Let's go back a little bit. But remember, no fast spread in this series. That just took out a lot of cars here. Jason's coming down. IDs is coming up a little bit, but Powell went down quite a bit and just ultimately nowhere to go for the rest of these guys. As Ping doing a heads-up thing, having to stop. I want to see it from Tulip Bo Tom's perspective because he went for a wild ride, it looked like. Riding on board with the 23 of Tulip Thomas Freitas. And 9 on the throttle. He sees it all happening, but ultimately nowhere to go. Tough break now. We have Chris Carroll, Larry Bell, Alex E. Harris, Jason Powell. All bringing it down for service down pit road on lap number 85. Got a stage break coming. Under 15 laps now. And with all them cars pitting, Edstrom has the one car he did not want to see behind him in regards to the points out here because Mark Arthur is now up to 2nd. Dalton Kilroe sitting 3rd. Let the big dog eat. Played a pit strategy call and played it to perfection because the 41's in contention now. Has the track position. Has proved he can go forward. He was making passes. 41. He's coming alive. He didn't get a whole lot of practice, so each lap this race goes, he's learning more and more every time. Go check the chat while we have a break in action. As hearing word from Jason Powell, I didn't hear anything from the spotter. So basically, folks, Jason thought he was clear, and you can kind of tell the way he started coming down, but then he realized, stopped, and these was already there coming up. So unfortunate. We hate that it happened, but it's racing, short track racing. Stuff's going to happen. As Connie said, it's the new puppy. As him getting a new puppy is made my fiance jealous because she's been wanting a puppy for a while. She wants a husky. And speaking of my fiance, shout out to Emily Bledsoe. Today's her birthday. She wasn't too thrilled. I had to broadcast tonight, and she's also feeling under the weather, having pretty high blood pressure. So not much of a great birthday for her, but still happy birthday to her nonetheless. It's gonna feel like somebody's birthday who can ever can walk away with tonight's race win. $50 to tonight's race winner. Remember, Daytona, we have $50 on the line. Mark won it. Can Mark sweep the money races this season? That'd be $100 in 2 races won by number 12. Or this Edstrom, Kilroe. Do they have something else to say about that? $50, the points and the prize on the line here. As green flag is out, looks like the top 6, top 7 all got away unscathed. Didn't spin the tires. Gilroy to the inside of the 12 car. May have had a countdown here. Now these two, they're very familiar with each other. They've done many laps side by side with each other. Advantage goes to Mark right there. Mark's going to try to come down. He does get down in front of the 41. 41 had to lift. My goodness, thought we were getting ready to have another one there. 41 cuts the 12 car break. Now it's going to be 9 laps to go until the end of stage number 2. There's not been a single person win another stage other than Edstrom the last 3 races. Does the streak continue? As the battle for P2 looks to be heating up. Now, both these drivers pitted on lap 60, so they're on the same strategy, the 12 and the 41. Now, we just saw Chris Carroll lead a group down pit road on lap number 85. Him and Alex C. Harris, they're currently working together, making moves on the outside, trying to get around Carl Lindstrom, number 83. 74 looks like he's going to have it here. Gets the momentum on the high side. He does get the position away, so the high lane, it's there tonight. It is absolutely there. I don't know if it's because these cars have so much horsepower, a lot of power. You can get the power down the high side or what, but it's definitely working. As now Chris Carroll up to P7. As Kilroe and Dees duking it out door to door. Dees comes up a little bit. May have been a little bit of contact there. A little love tap between teammates. This is the track right here. Martinsville and maybe Talladega, Daytona. It's the hardest race to have with teammates. Because you try to take care of teammates, but Martinsville, Talladega, Daytona, you almost got to be selfish. And oh, real good contact there between the 17 and 41. 17 D's threw it up in there. But still racing hard. Some more contact. That's 41's thinking, buddy, car high. D's thinking, buddy, I got to go. I'm a teammate. You should have let me go 5 laps ago. But now that's opened the door for Dustin Ping to the inside. Now, Ping and D's, they've been here every week. They're both racing for points. They're racing for the points championship. And Ping gets the curb there. Excuse me. Always getting ready to have calamity. It's going to allow Kilroe to get the advantage back to the outside. Now, can Kilroe make the pass here? Got a hard charge in Chris Carroll. Dutchie right there behind them both. Go back up front. It's still the Edstrom machine, number 87. Man, front and center. He is going to go back to back to back to back to back to back with the stage win. That's 6. Count them. 6 stage wins in a row for the 87. If he can get around here clean for one more lap. That's super impressive. You're looking at 60 bonus points right there. Absolutely insane. He is a man possessed. He's trying to scratch and claw his way back into the points title to be a contender. He is a contender for sure, because he just won stage number 2. As it's really insane to think the last 6 stages have been won by this number 87 machine. Austin Edstrom, winner of stage number 2. So he brought the brooms out last week. He brought the brooms out once again. So stage 2 winner is Austin Edstrom. Folks, we're going to throw it to Tripods in the Wild. We'll be back momentarily on the other side of this commercial break.
Shut up and sit down.
Shout out to Tripods in the Wild and Savage Edge. We had to cut the Savage Edge one a little short to make sure we get all the action here. His green flag is out. That was a weird one. Tom was really lagging back there in second place. New race leader out front, it is Dalton Kilroe, electing to do a little bit different strategy call once again for the number 41 machine. And look at the 87, just dive it off in there. Now the 12 car is going to try to do the same. And Tulipo Tom, he is in the place he don't want to be in. 3 wide here at Martinsville. As you got guys on all different tire strategies here trying to make something happen. And 3 car of Tron going around in the middle of the pack. He's facing backwards. As that's going to be a yellow on the speedway. What happened to Tron here? As once again, one of those deals I see out in my peripherals, but could not tell exactly what transpired. Oh, it looks like Alex gets loose. Trying to catch it. Tron hoping that he just gets it gathered up. Nowhere to go for the 3 car except right into the door of the 74. The bad luck continues for Chris Paul Amos. As we're going to be under caution break once again here tonight. Not very many cautions really though, besides the 2 stage cautions. Last restart, Mark was able to get up to P2, but now he's going to be starting on the outside with Edstrom starting to his inside. Dalton Kiro is probably going to get a countdown from Austin. They are in the same Discord chat, so they're talking and communicating. Probably going to be a countdown for the 41. Can the 41 get to the inside of the 12? 12's going to be on his toes here. And just as soon as he sees that 87 launch remotely, he's got to be on the loud pedal. As folks also, please do remember to thumbs up the video. Helps out a ton here at True Sim Productions. And of course, one more. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single lap of the action. We are 2, I repeat, 2 subs from 600. Hit the subs button. Helps out a ton here. We are on the road to 600 and we're so close I can almost taste it. 2 away. Hit that sub button. Thank you. As man, oh man, it's been a fun one tonight. It's been a good race. 87's been the man out front for the majority of the night. All it took was Mark hitting on the first caution that came early. And then since then, it's been all 87 out front. And now, just looking at the strategy now, everybody's basically on the same strategy in regards to pitting on lap 101, 102. Aside from Massengill, he pitted on lap 109, and Dalton Kilroy. Dalton Kilroy, he pitted on lap 60. So Dalton's due in for service pretty quick. They could go about 62 laps on a tank of fuel if it remained green. Obviously, there's been some cautions in between for Dalton, but he's nearing that pit window, I do believe. So very shocked and surprised to see the 41 did not come down for service. And from what I was listening to in practice, I think drivers are basically wanting to break this final stage, this 100-lap stage, up into 2 halves, basically 50-50. There's going to be some drivers out here that are going to want to stretch at, right? They're going to do about 60, 70 laps on this first set of tires, and then get that second set of tires with only about 30 laps to go. So it's all about strategy here on out, and depends on how the cautions fly. 87 has the field in his hands. Green flag is out. Now remember, can Kilroy get there to the inside of Mark? As Mark's going to drive off in there deep, he knows he's got to defend that second place spot. Looks like he's done it to perfection as he's going to slide in right in front of the 41. Now the 99 of Chris Carroll. He's also a man trying to move forward. Started on that outside lane, on the outside of Dalton Kilroy. He got down behind Dalton. Some of the fastest laps of the night are being turned right now. So Edstrom, he's pretty much checked out on whoever was in second place. It didn't matter who it was. Whoever was in second place, Edstrom was going to pull. Now we're going to see the litmus test here. Can he pull on the 12? Or will the 12 end up standing right there with Edstrom? Now remember, the 12 has been the fastest all night in regards to time, lap times. He was the fastest in practice, and he backed it up being the fastest during qualifying. But right now, the best lap of the race is the 87 machine, with an 18.99 compared to Mark's 19.07. And oh, we got a car going around. I believe that was Ryan Rose going around down low. As, dang it, caution's out. Oh, backing up. Gets the car turned around. Let's go see what happened to Ryan Rose on the TSP wreckage replay. Like he had to wait on picking up the throttle a little bit to stay off of Dalton. I remember Dalton's on older tires. So he has to lift, and once he lifted, it was just accordion effect, as Corey Sherman would say. As if Corey's watching, I know he's going to be giggling at the accordion effect. That's all right. Somebody I deemed as being close to the window, Kilrow. He's staying out even more. So I wonder if he can make this for a one-stop race. I mean, I think everybody has to stop basically one more time unless these cautions cut that stop out, which is also a possibility. I mean, let's pull up Dalton's picture here. He's ugly, but he is Captain Save Fuel, right? You see it right there in the bottom right. So if there's anybody going to stretch some fuel, the Daddy-O's machine is going to be the one to do it. And okay, I'll take it back. He's not ugly. He's a very handsome specimen. Very, very handsome. Better looking than this guy. Jeff Arthur. As the Shermanator says in the chat, trademarked. That accordion effect. As Lori got a good laugh out of that. Alright, you basically got a sprint left. 80 laps remaining. They click off fast here, under 20 seconds a clip. Is it go time now, or do they wait till after they pit? I think you just gotta send it now, and just pit when you have to pit, and hope it shakes out. But now I'm really interested with Captain Save Some Fuel. But he was last in on lap 60. The math that I'm mathing says he should have already been in. I don't know. We'll see how it all shakes out for the number 41. Fields in the hands of the 87 once again. We'll have Mark Arthur firing off to his outside. Now Chris Carroll's the man starting in the catbird seat, sitting there third inside row number 2. Can he get a launch and get inside of the 12? As Mark Arthur's going to spin the tires. That's going to allow the 99 to get there with ease. As Mark spun the tires, falls back to P3. Now, Chris Carroll, he's not had the chance to chase down the race leader yet. He's not had the opportunity to do it. So now he's going to try on the same strategy as the 87. What can he do here? That number 99, he's a familiar face up front. And we got some carnage going on in the back. Ping going around. Oh, Captain Save Some Fuel going around. Still not a yellow. They're stopped on track. Still not a yellow. Still not a yellow. Ping's facing backwards race control. Still not a yellow. Powell stopped. Now the yellow comes out. His leaders are coming around. iRacing. We got to fix that, guys. We got to fix that. That's pathetic there. Let's go back and see what happened. I saw it once again in the corner of my eye. They sit there for almost 30 seconds waiting for a caution. As Ping clips the curb a little bit that time. That was the corner prior. They're still good. Ping drives off in there fairly deep and just can't make the corner. Just drives off in too deep. Cannot make the corner. And I mean, look at this. Powell's waiting. He's waiting. Waiting. He's waiting. Pace car's not moving yet. Pace car just now turned the lights on, just started moving. Ridiculous. iRacing, that's got to be fixed. That is insane. As Jason Bauer bringing the number 9 Dodge around. Get it a lap back, so Bauer is on the lead lap now. So D's, Ping, Kilroy, they elected to go down for service. As D's had only a 5-second stop, so that just tells me some fuel for the number 17. Ping had a 9-second stop. He was the man facing backwards. And man, oh man, Kilroy. It looks like he hit a telephone pole going about 40 with the way that front end sunk in. All right, I'm going to start to have to worry about wheel spin if I'm one of these drivers now. We just saw Mark really knock tires off that last restart and lost the position for it, and actually got lucky because it could have lost more than just one. But there was some more wheel spin out of the rest of the field, so going to have to be careful now on these tires as they got about 30 laps on them here. They're starting to show their effects of wear, starting to lose a little bit of grip. I do apologize. I was being texted about work. As green flag back out in there, I do apologize for something important I had to take care of. 87 gets the launch off he needs. He's the man out front as they take lap number 131 of 200. Chris Carroll's sitting P2, so he got started on the outside lane. He still got himself down. Now Mark may have wanted to stay P3 there. That's something I actually missed entirely. Alex C. Harris sitting fourth. Larry Bell. Hey, he's been facing the wrong way tonight, but he's facing the correct way, and he's inside the top 5, so Belsky, a man on the move. Oh, misses the corner, though. Maybe a little camera shot. 83 to the inside. As I'm telling y'all, this is the fastest laps of the night now. They're doing nothing but getting faster. As Edstrom just set a really quick time, 18.98, so getting faster and faster. As pretty much the top 4 have broken away from the pack, but they all got a little bit of real estate between them. And then back here in 5th place, Paul Lindstrom. He is leading the charge. He's leading the train around Martinsville. Got Larry Bell, Ryan J. Rose right there breathing down his back. Now Kilroy, remember we just saw him pit a second ago. He's back in 11th trying to go back up to the front for the 3rd time tonight. He's climbed up the ladder 3 different times so far tonight. He's done it off pit call. He's done it off pace. Now he's going to need, I think, a little bit of both as we see Soul Stiller get a little loose. And, Paul Hamas is not going to give it up here. Drove the Soul Stiller down to the curb. Made the 17 back out of it a little bit. Tron, elbows out. Gonna really force the 17 to work to get by him here. That 17's a little gun shy. He was wanting to drive it off in there. Thought better of it. They keep it clean still. This 17's trying to get the momentum back as Dustin Ping pulls it down pit road. I saw in the background 81 machine for an unscheduled pit stop. They both drivers get around Tron. Back up front, Chris Carroll. He's staying with the 87. Now they've got a little bit of real estate between them and Mark. '99 shown to be a true contender because he's the only one staying under 5/10 of the race leader. Everybody else is falling back 5/10 or more. Chris Carroll's hovering right there about 2.5 tenths. All about hitting your marks now, just getting in a rhythm, remaining focused. Let's jump on board with our race leader, Austin Edstrom. Just super smooth. I say all that and he clips the curb. Let's jump on board with Chris Carroll. Carroll clips the curbing a little bit as well. Oh, we jump over Mark and he almost wrecks it. Puts on a show of saving right there. Lost a lot of time to first and second, but he was right down the back bumper of Carroll when we jumped into Mark's cockpit. It is go time. Top three have broken away entirely. P4, Alex C. Harris, he's a man on an island by himself. Nobody out the front, nobody out the back. As, caution's out on the speedway. And it's not even telling me why. Carl Lynch can tell some spots. A little tag from the 41. Carl's a good guy. He's not ever hot-headed, but might be hot about that one. All right, I expect pit road to be the busiest it's been all night long. So, folks, with everybody basically pitting, we're going to throw it to commercial break for the final time tonight. We'll be back uninterrupted till the finish. Stick around. We'll be back momentarily.
laps here. We're underway here at Horsepower Bar.
Alrighty, folks, we are back at it. Side by side. Oh, 3 cars lagging way far behind. It's really messed up at outside lane. Everybody's trying to catch up. 17th car don't care. He's going to get going here. 83, Lindstrom. He stayed out on the track. Oh, they're all bobbled up. Alex C. Harris. Oh, they're 3 wide here. Coming out turn number 2. It gets tight. Gets really tight. Oh, Carroll's really loose. They are racing, leaning on each other, hitting each other. Ron gets shoved up high. Carl Lindstrom going to the back here on those old tires. Man, oh man, all them guys right there. Right on top of each other. Throw a blanket over about 9 cars, hitting each other. And they somehow keep it rolling straight. And oh my goodness, Mark Arthur drives it off a cliff there. Almost gets to the back of the 87. Completely misses the corner. That's going to allow Chris Carroll to get to the inside. He backs off, lets the 12 car gather it back up. Battle for the race lead. Austin Edstrom makes it a battle of short order because he gets around the 87 and about half a corner, or the 17, excuse me, in about half a corner. So Edstrom back up front trying to run away and hide from the 12 and the 99, but now Dees is in the mix. What can Dees do to the number 17 machine? Off the strategy call here. He got up into the lead. Now he's back into P2. Mark, he's hounding him here to the inside of 17. The 17 just does not have the tires to match pace right now. So the 12 car is going to get by as well. It looks like the 99 car is going to follow suit. This is the battle for P2. Maybe the battle for the race lead heating up. Because they got by the 17 fairly quick. Now here comes Alex C. Harris as well on the same strategy as Mark Arthur, Chris Carroll, and our race leader Edstrom. But Edstrom, dead sail there. Almost a second lead over all that. All that happening to Mark and Chris really hurt them. Allowed Edstrom a second gap out ahead. But already the gap is shrinking. It's down to 0.8 already that time by. Mark is setting the chase right now and setting the pace. Fast car on the track last time around. It was Mark Arthur and Chris Carroll. So they are definitely faster than the race leaders. It's going to come down to time and what they are asking out of their tires to get up there. Edstrom can almost just kill the pace right now. Just kind of relax. Let the guys actually end up catching him and then turn it on. So the ball is totally in the 87's hands now. As Mark's getting some encouragement from his mom up in the chat. Saying, go Mark, go. As that time around, Mark was once again about a half. No, excuse me. They almost matched lap per lap at time. There you see it, when the laps are green, that means Mark's a little faster. If the lap ever goes red, then that means Mark was slower than the race leader. So that time by was a full 10th faster, and he's faster with the eye test, and he's faster in regards to the stopwatch. We say it week in and week out, and it's definitely going to hold true at a track like Martinsville. Getting to that guy, that's the easy part of the task at hand. Passing that guy, that's when it's going to get difficult. But Mark is clearly much faster, over a tenth and a half quicker, so really setting a record pace right now, actually. And then number 12, driving off in there deep. He's getting the boogity going. Then number 12, let's jump on board with Mark and see how he's attacking these corners, because we can tell he's on straight offense right now. Let's jump on board with him. Really deep into the corners, but surprisingly fairly soft on the throttle. Really easy on the throttle here. He's not just jumping into it like a light switch. He's not turning it off and on. He's really having to play with that. A lot of horsepower going to them rear tires. You got to manage it, and that's what Mark's doing, though. He's managing it fantastically right now, but so is the 87. Last time around, 87 was faster than Mark, but Mark's there now, so the pace and the lap times don't matter anymore at all. Those Southern saying at all. 33 laps to go and they cross the stripe. Now my question is, can Chris Carroll, can he find what he needs to find here to get back up and mix and mingle with the 12 and the 87? Right now it just looks to be almost half a gear slower than those guys right now. Is the 99 car saving? Over 30 laps to go. So a lot of time left in this race. A lot can happen between now and lap 200. Ooh, a little bobble out of 87 there. 87 starting to show signs of fatigue when it comes to those tires. 87's been the fastest on the short run all night long. Now you cannot count out Chris Carroll. Last time around he was almost a tenth faster than these two. So I think the 99 car's just been saving a little bit, leaving a little bit left in the tank when the laps start to really wind down and really matter. And battle for the race lead. Mark's going to drive it off in there. I was not prepared for that. I don't think the 87 was either, because that was a dive bomb right there. Mark had to think better of it and back out of it. As the birthday girl brings me a monster. Thank you, Emily Jane. As now Mark's going to regroup, settle back in. And now, Mark's already showed his hand. He's proven to the 87 he wants to lead. He could have been trying to spook the 87 into going high, but the 87 didn't budge. Did not budge. He stayed right there with him. He was ready to go to war for the race lead. It's going to be 25 laps to go. Mark, he's rolling the center so much better than 87. And typically when I say that, I usually follow that up by saying he's leaving a lot on the exit, though. But he's not. He's actually a tick faster on the exit as well. His pace is being determined by Edstrom. He's going to drive off in there once again. Woo! Mark was sideways right then, getting on the binders. And now something else. 87 proved he was going to block it there. He proved he did not care to block it. He came down. So he's telling the 12. They're talking a lot right now to each other without speaking a word. There's a lot of communicating going on between those two. 87 showing he's going to defend this title, defend this spot. And the 12 is basically saying, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to that spot. So it's getting down to the nitty gritty. 23 laps to go. Mark, he's charging right down the back bumper of the 87. 87 just needs to keep the eyes facing to the forward. He cannot afford to look in the mirror at all, and Mark cannot either, because now Chris Carroll's got it in under a second within these guys, so he's definitely catching them. He's driving them down now. "22 laps to go." Oh, battle for the race lead heats up. Mark to the inside of the 87. Lap traffic's going to be out in front of these two. We'll try and play a factor into this battle. Mark's there. Drops it down, clips the turb a little bit. As they're going to be battling side by side when they get to lap traffic. They're still battling side by side, door to door here for the race lead. $50 on the line. Going to be 19 laps to go when they cross the stripe. 3 car is a lap down right in front of these leaders. As he's going to go high, give him room, bottom him up a little bit, but the 3 car does go high. Now, does that hurt Chris Carroll as well? It does not. As Edstrom hanging on really strong here on the outside lane, but I do believe Mark's is going to win the battle as this war, it belongs. Mark gets a little bit of an advantage every single lap. 87 car, though, he is hanging on. The 99 wants to see these guys keep doing battle. This is allowing Chris Carroll the chance, the opportunity to fish these guys in, reel in 1 and 2. As Edstrom goes really high here, misses the corner, up in the marbles, he's loose. That's going to allow Chris Carroll to get by, and now Mark just has to be smooth for 17 more laps. Can Chris Carroll drive him down? Chris lost some time there with Edstrom when Edstrom got loose, so the gap's back over a second gap now. These two, Mark, Chris, they're not friends. They don't like each other a whole lot, if we're being honest. If there's one person each of them wants to beat, it's the guy. It's the other one I'm talking about. So now Chris, can he chase down Mark here? You know he's going to be trying. Let's jump on board with Chris. I bet he's turning qualifying laps from here on out. Listen to him work that motor, just winding them RPMs out, sliding the tires. He's going for broke now. He is really manhandling that car right now. I don't know if it's helping him or hurting him because Mark is opening up the gap. Each lap that goes by, the gap's actually increasing for the number 99. So the 12 just needs to be smooth here on out. Connie, Lori, give me a whoop whoop in the chat. I know y'all are happy for that. Gonna be 12 laps to go this time by. Like Jason Powell, number 18. Taking it down for service. I don't believe anybody else is going to have to pit inside the top 5. I think they're all solidified based on the fuel. Now, Chris Carroll did have an extra set laying in the pits, but I don't think it's going to come to fruition. As look, the 87 applying quite a bit of pressure now to the 99. They were getting ready to have a hot and heavy battle, but the 87 went up into the marbles, got the car really loose, and had to basically slow the pace down for a few laps, let the tires cool off. As the field is in the hands of the 12 car and crew. Mark has picked up 2 race wins already this season. We started the season off Daytona, $50 to win, brought to you by Blackhawk Motorsports. 12 car. He won it. He's not comfortable with the super speedways. He don't like them. But he finally got the monkey off his back. He told us in the interview, and he won it. Then he picked up the second race win 2 weeks after that at Richmond. But since Richmond, it's been the Austin Edstrom show at Homestead, Miami, and then at the Charlotte Roval. So Mark, looking to get himself back into the win column. He knows Edstrom has capitalized on a lot of stage points tonight and the last few weeks. So he knew he needed a strong finish here. If he wanted to escape and leave Martinsville as the points leader, well, the best way to do that is to be the race winner. He's looking to sweep both special events of the season. He's got 5 laps to go to do it. Little bit of lap traffic out the windshield. He does have almost a 3-second lead over second place Chris Carroll, so that gives him plenty of time within these 5 laps to kind of watch the lap traffic, not have to force anything, as he's almost opened it up to a full half a straightaway gap over Chris Carroll and Austin Edstrom. And Edstrom's not leaving the 99 car alone. As now, Carroll. Carroll can go around trying to let him go by. As we never expected that out of anything. It stays green, but Carroll was actually letting Edstrom by. Carroll's not racing for points, so he was just racing for wins, basically. Let Edstrom by because Edstrom was a tick quicker. Didn't want to jeopardize the championship battle. But then he got up in the marbles, and we've almost seen Jesus take the wheel type moment. As, all right, popsicle sticks in the air. White flag's going to be this next time by. It's going to be white flag in the air. Barney Fife Jr., the flag man, he has it in his hands. Just waiting for our race leader to come around. It's going to be the final time. One more time around the circuit. 200 laps. 199 down. This is the final one for Mark Arthur. He won at Daytona. He backed it up with a win at Richmond. Now he's one straightaway away from winning at Martinsville. Mark Arthur, number 12, the Barbie machine. He has fans in the stands of Connie, Miss Lori, Lola as he calls it. And he's going to make him proud because he picks up race win number 3 of the season. Mark Arthur. And then it looks like Austin Edstrom's going to bring it home P2. Alex C. Harris going to get a strong podium finish for the number 74. Ryan Rose brought it home 5th, and Chris Carroll was the gatekeeper in regards to the top 5 because he brought it home in 5th. So Mark Arthur, $100 richer over the course of 2 nights of racing. Burn it down. Oh man, burn it down. A little bit of a Kyle Larson burnout. I like it. See if he can keep going. Not a whole lot of smoke, but there's virtually no smoke now. Oh, he sucks. Come on, Mark. Give us some smoke. I think the only thing going to be smoking is that motor. Well, all right, let's shift gears. Congratulations to Mark Arthur on picking up the win. Let's jump on over to Alex C. Harris. Brought it home P3 here tonight. Solid night for the 74 machine. A podium finish for the number 74, the Monster Energy Krispy Kreme machine. As I believe we caught him in the middle of a conversation. Alex C. Harris, you live in the booth, brother. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Man, oh man, you started, I believe it was 8th. You started, brought the car home in 3rd when it was all said and done. Talk me through your night, brother.
I was back and forth all night. I picked up a black flag for just unsafe exits, just too many cars, and just got caught on the other side of the cone, so put me in the back, and I just kind of involved with a couple wrecks, but still managed to kind of use some strategy to make my way to the front. It was unfortunate because I would have been P4, but Chris Carroll, kind of spun. Left rears are getting hot, man. A lot of people are having issues with left rears. That seemed to be the common thread.
So, Alex, you come into tonight third in the points battle. You're going to walk away third in the points. What are we going to need these next 2 weeks to get you up there and mixing and mingling with Mark and Austin for this championship picture?
Bar a miracle? I guess 2 good performances on the doubleheader. Luckily, they're going to be fun tracks. So Bristol and, as I understand it,
Auto Club. Yes,
so
sir.
it should be some fun tracks. So we'll see how that goes.
Right on, Alex. Well, who we got to thank for the podium finish here tonight? Brought the car home in third.
We're gonna do some blazing pedals. We're gonna get yourself some Bowberry biscuits at Bojangles and take a look at the Epilepsy Foundation. That'll be my sponsor for the night.
Right on, brother. Well, thank you, Alex. Congratulations on a podium finish, brother.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That was Mr. Alex, and now it's time to talk to somebody that's been very familiar in this broadcast booth as of late. I mean, quite honestly, he's won the last 6 freaking stages, so that shows how hot and heavy he is in regards to the points. Mr. Austin Edstrom, you're live in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So, man, oh, man, you looked to be the car to beat once Mark pit early, and then, I mean, it was basically smooth sailing for the longest until those last 30 or so laps. Talk us through it, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, Mark has gifted me a chance to compete for the championship next week with him pitting on lap 20. He was far and away the fastest. He's just got these short tracks figured out. I mean, I had nothing for him at Richmond. I was just second quickest and then got damaged. Here, I'm just second quickest the entire time. But I know I beat him by 5 positions in the first stage, 1 in the second, and I think he got caught up in an accident, so he got some X's and I had 0X. So I know I've cut the points lead down, probably to 15 going into the doubleheader championship, and that was my goal coming in. But it is kind of heartbreaking to lose it, with about 18 laps to go or so by putting myself in the fence. But my right rear was shot. There was no way I was holding on for another 18, even if I didn't do it.
Well, brother, you definitely have maximized the points the past few weeks. As you mentioned, doubleheader to determine the champion, Bristol, and then Auto Club. How you like the car and how you like in those tracks?
Well, the good thing is Bristol has banking, so maybe Mark will be a little bit worse off there because he seems to be good at the freaking flat short tracks. So
right.
We use a lot of brake. Bristol, I feel like I can float it into the corner and maybe do something. And Auto Club will be fun, man. I love that racetrack. Never ran it in this car, but I think that's going to be a heck of a championship race, especially if I can close the gap a little bit more on Bristol. I feel like we'll be going into the championship pretty close if I run Bristol like I know I can. So I'm pretty excited.
Right on, brother. Well, congratulations here tonight. Brought it home second, winner of the last 6 stages. So congratulations, bud.
Appreciate you, sir.
Alrighty, folks. And then we know that means we've talked to 2. Let's talk to the race winner. It's Mr. Big Ugly Mark Arthur live in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Tanner.
So, old Jeffrey brought it home. P1 here at Martinsville. You fastest in the board at the end of practice. You backed it up with qualifying. And then you backed it up with a race win. But, man, oh, man, it was adversity. What brought you to pit on, lap 20? Why'd you do that?
Brain fart. It's just I'm so used to, you know me, I always want the car full of fuel. And I was like, well, I'll stop here and top off. And then I looked down, and I'm like, crap. The stage is on lap 50, and we can do 60 laps. I didn't need to pit. And I said, well, shot myself in the foot there. But I don't know. Then the car spinning in front of me, the 9 car, I think it was, spun and hit me in that left front, and that had me pretty damaged. The car was pretty tight, and I don't know that it ever got back the way it was originally when I got all the damage fixed. But I don't know, made it interesting, made me drive my tail off with that brain fart, and that was pretty fun racing Austin. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get around him. The tires were so slick.
You pulled some few people with you, so that was helpful, right? But yeah, I was shocked to see you pit. I knew you always liked having the fuel if you could have it, right? But I just
right.
I couldn't do the math. My math just was not mathing out to make that make sense, right? So I was questioning on the broadcast, but
that's what Austin said. He's like, I couldn't believe you pit, and I said, yeah, me either. After I did it, and so I was like, yeah, that was a mistake, but
so
luckily I prevailed and made it more interesting.
with the way the stages fell and all that after you pit, Austin maximized his points, right? He got as many points as he could, so he's definitely chopped the lead down. It was 25 coming into tonight in regards to the points battle between you and him.
I say it'd be pretty close right now.
I think it's going to be close, and now we go into Bristol and Auto Club, doubleheader for championship night. How you feel about those tracks settling the score there?
I'm usually pretty good at Bristol, especially if we can run the bottom. I don't really like it if we have to run the top, but if we can run the bottom, I like it. But I don't know. Auto Club, I'm okay at too. But it seems like one of those cookie cutter tracks, right, where it's just the same old tri-oval, straight backstretch, D-shaped things. And I don't know. I don't excel at those tracks, so he can keep it close. He'd probably win. But I don't know. We'll see. It's all crapshoot till you get there, right? With these cars, if we were in a different car, maybe. Where these cars, you have to kind of be a little more conservative on the throttle and things like that. I think that helps me, actually. Yeah, I think it helps me. So, I mean, I couldn't believe that I was pulling on him and Chris Carroll. I mean, they were just, I couldn't touch them, right? I could maintain, but if I'd miss a corner, I'd lose. And I don't know, after about 15 laps, my car would just come alive and I could run them back down. And I think they may have been just overdriving the corners initially, where I wasn't, so this car with all that horsepower, man, you got to get her wood down. And if you're driving it like normal, it ain't going to happen.
It's a finesse game. It looks like a finesse game all night.
Right.
And especially a track like Martinsville, it's already a finesse game with the brakes and the throttle. Well, Mark, you brought home your third race win. You brought home $100 too, by the way. So $50 for tonight, $50 Daytona. You helped run the league, right? So it probably just stays in the league funds, so it kind of stinks. But still, nonetheless, you kept it in the pocket, and you opened up. I was gonna say you opened up the points lead, but probably not. Actually, you probably lost points tonight.
Yeah, because it's a 1 point.
Yeah.
1 point system. So I only gained a point, and I lost a lot more than 1 point. So in the contact, I lost more than a point.
You hit everything under the sun tonight. Who we got to thank for the 12 car though, putting it in victory lane?
Well, Barbie's not a real sponsor, so we're not going to thank her. And I just thank my mom and my sister for showing up each week, right? It makes me drive a little harder and to put on a show for them. And thank you for being up in the booth and everything you do. And think Blackhawk Motorsports and Ohio and Indiana Roofing. I think I got that right. And for coming on as sponsors, and they've came on as our main series sponsor too. That's pretty awesome, So to have, it's hard to find sponsors, right? It's hard to find people want to sponsor Make Believe Racing. So I don't know, to have them on board is awesome. We'll get the next season going here pretty soon. Sucks that we're going to have to end this one early, but maybe next year we can plan a little bit better and get a whole 10 races in.
Absolutely, brother. Congratulations, picking up the third race win of the season. We'll have to get back up there and celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate it, Tanner.
Yes, sir, buddy. Alrighty, folks, it is now about that time. We get the results tab up, and we're going to get on out of here. Mark, Arthur, Austin Edstrom, Alex E. Harris, they were 1, 2, and 3 on the podium. Fourth place was Ryan J. Rose. Chris Carroll brought it home 5th. Larry Bell 6th. Dalton Kiro 7th. Brian Dees, Jason Bauer, and Carl Lindstrom, that was 8th through 10th. 11th was Chris Paul Hamus, otherwise known as Tron. Jason Powers in 12th. Tulip Bowes brought it home 13th. Mike Massengill in 14th. Dustin Pinks 15th. And Michael Reeps right home in the 16th place position. Folks, I want to thank y'all for sticking with us throughout the night. We'll be back next week to crown a champion doubleheader night at Bristol and Auto Club. But until then, it's been myself, Tanner Marr, in the TSP booth. We'll see ya.